Okay, good morning, all. Welcome to this meeting. So, I hope we have discussed something about data flow testing. With respect to that, data flow testing, how to apply it to the commission problem we have just discussed. And we have also seen some of the definitions related to data flow testing. So, when we can apply data flow testing, whenever we have a lot of variables that is available in the program. So whenever huge number of variables are available, that particular point of time, you can apply data flow testing. It is not necessary that you cannot apply path testing. You can apply that one also. But best usage when you can go with data flow testing is whenever you have large number of variables. Fine. So we have seen with respect to your data flow testing, whenever you say definition clear path is existing, first of all, we need to find out the definition usage path. How the definition usage path will be identified when you need to identify one particular variable where the value will be initialized. That is called as definition. And where it has been used, usage may happen in two ways. One is usage with respect to the conditional statements, or else usage with respect to computing some value or printing some value. Both are treated as computational use itself. So with respect to that, any one usage if it is having, then from starting from the definition, note till the usage, note you need to identify the path, or you need to identify the nodes that are involved in working with respect to the definition at the usage node of a particular variable. Okay. So this is how DU path will be identified. Once the DU path is identified, then you need to check for one particular condition, that is definition clear. Wherever the first statement is a definition node, and if the same particular variable is redefined anywhere before reaching your usage node, then you cannot say that path as a definition clear path. So keeping all these things in our mind, we'll just move to the next topic. Our next topic is test coverage metrics. We have seen this test coverage metrics with respect to your path testing also. What are all the details that we have seen? C naught, that means coverage of every statement, C1, C1P, C infinity, like that, right? CD, etc., etc. Loop coverage, everything will be seen. We have seen it, right? In a similar fashion, with respect to your DU path, is there any test coverage metrics available? So one particular example has been, or one particular metric has been given by RAPS and uh, RAPS Vayukar. RAPS Vayukar is a computer science scientist. So what he has given us is he has given his own particular metrics to in order to test your DU path. What are all those? We'll just see one by one. First, we need to see some definitions regarding this. So with respect to that, so what are all the things that they are assuming to that they are asking us to assume is very simple. In the following definitions, T is a set of paths in the program. So whatever the path that we just encounter, no, that will be nothing but set of paths is nothing but the set name is T, in which from the program graph G of P of a program P with a set of variables P. That's all. So assume that defined usage paths are all feasible. Very important thing. Whenever you are calculating or whenever you are traversing a path, keep one thing in your head. It should be a feasible one. Feasible in the sense it should happen. It should give some result, whether it is with respect to whatever you are expecting or whatever you are not expecting. So it should provide some result. Understanding it. So very important thing. Suppose whether the logs is not equal to -1 at the beginning. Is it important that it should calculate the sales followed by commission with respect to 20%, 15% followed by 10%? Not necessary, right? So that is what here it is meaning. Understanding it. So we need to have a definition usage path which are feasible enough to understand. So once the logs itself is not given, it is no question of calculating the sales, no question of calculating the commission. Or even if you calculate sales, no question of calculating the commission. So that should be the answer written over there. So if you can give that particular answer, then we say that it is a feasible one. Okay, so that's what they mean with respect to your feasible. So next one is all definitions. What do you mean by all definitions here? The set T satisfies all definitions criterion for the program P if and only if for every variable V belonging to, it should be belonging. So you know that, right? E symbol, you can just mention it. So belonging to V, that means whatever the variable that you just choose it, that variable should be available in the variable set V. T contains definition clear paths from every defining node of V to a use of from the defining node till the usage node, whatever you are having it, all the definitions, whatever you are giving it, that should be taken into consideration. Those particular definitions, whatever you are saying it, are called as all definitions with respect to the set that you have chosen. Say for example, just take an example, it will be easy for us. Okay, or else we'll just go back to the previous slide because we have already defined these particular DU paths, right? Just take up one particular such thing. See here, I'll take the example of total logs. Okay, with respect to a commission problem I'm talking about, I'll take the example of total logs. So here, what are all the paths that you are having it? All definitions, wherever definitions comes, that is 10 to 16. 10 to 16, whatever the values that you are having it, so you need to identify the path. Similarly, 10 to 21. Similarly, 10 to 24. This is how the combination works. One more definition is that where from 16 it starts, 16 to 16, comma 16 to 21, comma 16 to 20. So these are all the definition paths that I am having. This is what they are saying it with respect to definition. In this particular path, whatever you have identified, 6 paths you have identified. How? It's a Cartesian product. So all the Cartesian products you need to just identify it. In this, if all the particular whatever the identified paths are there, if it is a definition clear, then we call that as all definitions with respect to that particular scenario. This is what the meaning of all definitions with respect to the given problem statement. All definitions means whatever the definition that is having, each one of it should pose a definition clear path. If it is a definition clear path, we can just say it. T contains definition clear paths from every defining node of V to a usage node of V. So that is what it will be having. 16 to 16, it's a definition clear path. They are only defining, but after some time, it will be coming back. Loop will be there. So it will be defining as well as using over there itself. It is not redefined anywhere. In the same statement only, it will be doing. So that's why it's a definition clear path. So 10 to 16, it's a definition clear path. So in the same particular manner, it will be just going. So all those particular things are nothing but all definitions. That is what the metric that they are using. Similarly, they are going with one more thing. All definition comes means all usage also comes into picture. When all usages comes into picture, at that time, instead of every defining node, what they will be saying is every usage. It is based on every usage. So all the usage nodes should be involved in forming a definition clear path. Then we say all uses. Suppose 10 with respect to 21 should be having at least a definition clear. But 10 with respect to 16 is possible. 10 with respect to 21, 10 with respect to 24 is not possible because 16 is the intermediate node that it comes over there. There it has been redefined. 16 to 21, whether it is possible or not. 16 to 24, whether it is possible or not. So that's what we need to just check it out. So with respect to whatever the variables that you are identifying, with respect to the usages I'm talking about, I'm not talking about 10 and 16 with respect to the previous example. I'm talking about the next part, that is your usage node. With respect to the usage node, whatever the combination of nodes that you have identified as a usage node, those particular identification along with the definition should form a definition clear path. If that is the case, then I'll say that all uses are happening over there. There's a second point. Next one is all P uses and some P uses. You can easily identify it. All P uses means or some C users. That's what they have given. You just try to identify, okay, whatever they have. The set T satisfies the all P uses or some C uses criterion for the program P if and only if means two conditions are there, both the conditions should be need to holds good, understanding it. So that's where if and only if comes into picture. For every variable V, whatever the variable that we choose it, total logs, total stocks, total barrels, whatever the variable that we choose it, that should belong to the variable set. All the variables should be addressed in one particular set called as V. So that it should be identified. And the next thing is T contains definition clear paths from every defining node of V to every predicate use of V. So from the defining node to the predicate node, whatever the predicate node that is having predicate usage, that particular node is also a usage node itself. So that one we need to identify. If a definition of V has no P uses, that means no predicate uses are applicable or that, then we need to move to definition clear path identification for at least one computational use. All computation is not necessary. One computational use you need to have. It's a very clear one. So with respect to simple program, if we can understand. Okay, so let me take a very simple algorithm. So I'll just write a pseudo code of that algorithm. I'm not going to write the complete code of that. So code is very simple. First, I'll just read a variable. Any variable should be read. Okay, so read a is equal to 10. That's it. Second statement says if a greater than 0, then print a. Fourth statement, else print a should be greater than 0. That's right. This is what they are saying. Okay, this is one particular graph. Simple identification of one algorithm. What it is saying, if you read any value with respect to a, so instead of a is equal to 10, you can just switch it over to saying that it should be accepted from the standard input, that is keyboard or something. That's also possible. That is the case. A is greater than 0, then it need to print the value of a, else it need to print some other. Fine. So now, whatever you are identifying, you need to identify this particular, with respect to a only we are taking, only one variable is there. So I'm talking about with respect to only one variable, because here only one variable is declared. So with respect to that, I'm talking. So now, if you want to identify the definition node with respect to this, define def with respect to how to identify it, a comma the node number or the line number. Okay, so you can say it. Next one is usage of a. You identify usage of a with respect to all the particular nodes. So it is used in second node as a predicate one. So then it has been used in third set particular statement also, where you are printing some particular value over that. Next one is that's it. According to right now, that's it. So if you are printing the particular value of a with respect to the last statement also, then also it would be saying that it is a computational. Fine. Sorry, a comma 5. So this is how it would be working. So we have identified the definition node, we have identified the usage. Now, in this usage node, you need to talk about the predicate usage as well as computational usage. What they are saying is T contains definition clear paths from every defining node of V to every predicate use of V. Fine. So that's what they are saying it. First, you need to identify whether any predicate node is available in our algorithm or not. So with respect to this, if you identify the DU path, say for example, first we need to identify the DU path. Keep that in your head. So because we cannot directly go and identify the definition clear path. First, we need to go with the step by step. DU path, definition usage node path. Then with respect to that, whether it is a definition clear or not, we need to identify. Understanding it. So that's why I'm talking, or I'm just taking the example of, or I'm taking the concept of DU path here. So DU path with respect to P1, I'm saying it, path 1. So definition usage with respect to the variable A we are talking about, right? So with respect to that, 1 is a starting node and 2. 1 comma 2 will be the first particular identification. If you are getting confused, I'll just put a hyphen followed by 2. This is the path, first path. Similarly, we have path 2. Path 2, there also definition node should be 1 followed by 3 till 3. So 1 followed by 2, 2 followed by 3. Fine. I'm identifying all the paths now. Okay. So don't get confused. Still, we are not. We have not identified definition clear path. We have just identified the definition usage path. That's it. So with respect to this P3, it will be just saying that 1 to 2. 2 fails means it will go with 4. 4 with respect to 5. This is the 3. Understanding it. Now, with respect to this, we need to identify all P uses for some C uses. That's what they are saying. So, with respect to this, I'll say that with respect to this, I'll say that our particular second path and first path and third path. All three are acceptable. How? Predicate use, right? Predicate use is happening with respect to the second particular statement. That is, you are using the variable A to check whether it is greater than 0. If it is so, it will be printing. If it is false, then it will be just going with the fourth statement. So all these particular things will come under all P uses. Suppose, if I just take one more example, same algorithm, a few things I'll just change it. That's it. Read A from standard input. Second one, B equal to A plus 10. Third one, print A and that's all. Here there are no predicate uses. In this particular point of time, we need to select at least one computational use in that particular case scenario. That's what it says with respect to all P uses for some C. We have a replica. So once we have all P uses with respect to some C uses, we can also go with all C uses for some P uses. That's just a reverse of whatever we have seen with respect to this all P uses and C uses. That is our next statement. You need to first check for all the computational use. If all computational uses are addressed, then it's okay. You can leave. Otherwise, what you can do is you can just ensure that at least one of the predicates. So predicate always will be having two paths, two different paths. at least one path if you are having it, then you can just take that particular path. So that is what they are saying it with respect to, yeah, all C users, but for some. Next one is all DU paths. We have identified that. So once we are having this particular all DU paths, we'll just check out what the statement says, then we'll just analyze. We have already identified what is DU path. DU path is nothing but definition, usage, path. That's it. Understanding it. Usage can be predicate, can be computational with respect to this particular definition. With respect to the previous definition, then it is very clear cut saying that if all P uses are considered, then for some C uses you can just have it. Or else all C uses you can consider it. For some P uses you can have it. So that's the thing that they have just given. Understand? So with respect to all DU paths, what they are saying here, I'll just start consider with respect to if and only if. So the set T satisfies all DU paths criterion for the program P if and only if for every variable V belong, it is not E, it is belonging to V. This variable V should belong to V. So then T contains definition clear path from every defining node of V, to every use of V, and to the successor node of each use of V comma N, and that these paths are either single loop traversal or cycle free. What is the statement is all about? We can understand every defining node of V to every use of V, and to the successor node of each use of V comma N. Successor means next node I'm talking about. Predecessor means previous node. So every particular use node, whatever you are having it, next to that particular node, and these paths are either single loop traversals or cycle free. That means no cycle should happen. Say for example, first statement, first statement. What this statement is, wait a minute. Read A and B from standard input. STD that refers to standard input. Second statement, if A is greater than B, print A is greater than B. You all know this particular algorithm. It is just to identify the biggest of the two numbers. That's it. B is greater than. That's it. Now we need to identify all the DU paths. Once you are identifying the DU paths, then you need to just check out what that particular thing says. You need to identify the definition clear, first of all. Definition clear should be happening with respect to that particular identification of the DU path. So how to identify it? So what is the defining node? What is the usage node? Here we have two variables. We are not talking about one single variable. We have two variables. So with respect to that, you need to talk. So yeah. So path P1, I'll just directly go with path P1 because definition node, usage node, you already know it, how to identify. So defining node for variable A, if I'm talking about. So at that particular point of time, it should be talking, it should consider with respect to the first node, then it will enter to the second node. Second node is the usage node. This is one path. Path 2, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Fine. So the next one is path 3. If I just identify it. 1, 2, followed by 4, followed by 5. Variable A, that is what? This is for variable B. Once again, the path 1, it says with respect to same particular thing, 1 to 2 itself. Because you are using it as well. Both the variables are used. Same particular paths only you will be repeating it. You will be not changing any particular thing. Because B also involved in node 3 and node 5 with respect to usage. 2, 3 and 5 are usage nodes. So with respect to variable A as well as variable B. Now what is this particular thing? So DU path, okay, fine. What is that successor node of each? Successor node is, successor means next node. Whatever the next node that you are talking about. So that means here, with respect to 1, 2, 3 is a successor node. So with respect to this, yes, it should be considering with respect to that particular node. Next node should also be involved in identifying it. Then we call it as a all DU paths. And one more thing is, there should be cycle free. Cycle free means there should not be any loop formation. 16 to 16 is not called as all DU paths because there only it starts, there only it ends. There is a loop. That loop should not be available. There should be a single path from one node to another. If you have that, then it is easy to identify that yes, it is possible to have definition usage. This is with respect to your definition usage. Yeah. With respect to whatever the things that we have just discussed, they have given a hierarchy. So first we need to identify all the paths. Whatever the DU paths are there, you need to identify. Or with respect to that particular program, all the paths need to be identified. Now you need to categorize that particular paths into all DU paths. All DU paths means cycle free path. That should be identified. Understanding it. So there should not be any cycle with respect to the path that you are choosing it. So the successor node should be having some particular importance with respect to the previously available usage node. That is what it says with respect to your definition usage node, all DU paths. Among this, all users you need to identify. That is the second, that is the third step. From this all users, there are two things can happen. All C users for some P users or all P users for some C users. With respect to this, all the definition comes into picture. And with respect to the P users, if you are taking it, all edges should be traversed, all nodes should be traversed. It is one and the same what we discussed with respect to path testing. What we discussed with respect to your path testing, all the nodes, all the statements are nothing but all the nodes. Understanding it? All edges, that is all the links should be traversed, and all the predicates that you are having it or loop that you are having it, all should be traversed. And at last, the entire particular nodes should be addressed over there. Statement coverage, branch coverage, loop coverage. All these things should be there. That's what we identified with respect to your path testing. The same thing is replica with respect to your data flow testing, but they are saying it in their own definition. That's it. First, we need to identify all the users, all paths. From that all paths, all DU paths you need to identify. From DU paths, you need to identify all the users. In that users, there are two bifurcations here. One is for all C users for some P users. The other one is all P users for some P users. Combining this, you'll be getting the all definitions. With respect to your P uses only if you are taking events, separately you take it all P uses. With respect to that, all the edges, all the nodes, you need to traverse it. Because predicates goes with multiple directions. So all the particular directions, you need to just identify the path. That's what it says. So this hierarchy, you need to keep it in your mind, because this question has been asked so many times. What you need to do? What is the thing that you need to explain? See, very simple. What is this all DU paths? What is this all uses, all definitions, all P uses, some C uses, all C uses, all some for some P uses. The definitions which we have just stated now, statements, you need to just identify, you need to just write it over there. Really depends on the marks. If it is asked for 12 marks or 15 marks, you need to state one example. With respect to that example, where you are identifying all P uses or some uses, you need to just look into that, and you need to just try to give an example for the entire particular code. One algorithm, with respect to that one algorithm, you need to state all these particular definitions. That's it. This is with respect to the test matrix that we have with respect to the data flow testing. Any doubt? See, for your upcoming internal, second module and third module complete will be that. So that means whatever we discuss will finish off by Thursday. We'll finish off this particular module. So another two topics are there. Two topics. We just look into it, and it's finished with respect to the third module. Okay. So that's what. If you have any doubt, you can discuss, or else we'll wind up this particular class. If you don't have any doubts, I have a lot of doubts. I'll keep all my doubts in a piece of paper. I'll just write all my doubts in a piece of paper and ask you to give the solution for it in the next week. Wednesday is our internals. That's what the timetable has been given. Wednesday, 9:30. Be prepared. You need to write the internals in the papers, not in the book. Papers, and those papers you need to scan it, and you need to send us those particular scanned documents. You need to send us in a stipulated amount of time. Your duration is 9:30 to how much time? 1 hour time, right, for you? So 10:30. That's how it will be just planned. Okay. So for more information, you can visit our website. That the timetable as well as the timings has been posted. Okay. Thank you very much for your patience listening. We'll just continue our class on Wednesday.